All right, welcome back everyone. Today we're working on the C3 and it is carpet fitting day in the driver's side. Passenger side is already pretty much done. The goal is to fit the carpet, trim it where it needs to be trimmed, primarily right along here, so that the door sill can go in, hold the carpet in place. And then also trimming up in that area, to get everything to sit nicely. That should be the only places I need to trim it. Maybe along the back a little, put a couple cuts here in the corners. And then before I do that, of course, I'm gonna have to remove my little makeshift seat rails that I installed so I could put the temporary seat in, which has been great. I'm glad I did this. There's a little bit of work to put these seat rails in here, but it was a learning process. I did some welding, there's a video on that. It worked great, but I think it's time for it to come out and probably not go back in, because the next stop should be stock seats if all goes well. So I'm gonna pull these out. I'm gonna vacuum this up, and then I'm also gonna put in this some of this sound deadener, like along here, like that, and also on this whole bottom part in the front, because it's noisy. So yeah, it's just noisy, and I want to also, it's not the strongest stuff, and it also compresses a little. So I got this 4mm closed cell foam, and we're gonna put that in there too. So next stop, this should be all cleaned out, and we'll get this foam installed. Okay, before I put in the padding, I want to do a little work up here, because there is this is the original padding piece. It goes around the steering column, and it goes under, it's hard to show you, but it goes under this plastic piece. So this slides up in there, under there, and then this whole thing goes up. Let's see if I can make this wider. Yeah, this whole thing goes up here, and then there's a clip. There's a little push clip, or I don't know if you call it a clip. It's more of a, well, let's see what it's called. It goes right in there, in this hole. And there's a hole in the firewall. I'll show you. There's a hole in the firewall right there. Focus. There we go. Right there. Okay. So that you shove one of these guys through, and I bought these for the rear. Let me open this. I can't do it with one hand. I'll open this and I'll be right back. Okay. It's this. And these are called carpet installation retaining plugs. Right, and I got these for the back. There's 3 of them that go back there, right? One in the middle, and one about there, and one about over there. So that's for the back, but you can use them in a few spots in the car. So this is one of them, and I think you can shove a rod right in the middle. And I think, is that a good way to do it? I think that is a good way to do it, because it kind of stretches this tip out and it sort of pulls it through, right? So I'm going to try that. First, I want to see if I have to go through the carpet in addition to doing this, to putting this up there. I'm not sure if the carpet goes under that piece or not. So I'm going to find out, but this is ready whenever I need to do that. So that'll be over there somewhere. Here's the driver's side carpet before it goes in. You can see it's all fitted. It's got all these shapes in it, fitted shapes for all the little curves. So hopefully that works. Okay, here's the initial fitment. So I just laid this in, and what I did on the other side that I think I had pretty good luck with is just start with the center and kind of jiggle it around until it feels tight, feels like it's gripping, you know, all these little edges. Then you kind of push it forward and backwards and work into the corners. So this area looks pretty good. That's right, seems to be good. I might put a heat gun on this just to relax this and get some of these wrinkles out. Not that worried about it. It's not going to be very visible. The upper edge, I think it just sits there. It just covers, so that is just going to sit there. There's a little bit on the steering column, and this thing just sits on top of that pedal for the high beam, low beam. Pretty basic. We'll do a little trimming along here. Maybe we might leave this, some of this up here. Just, I mean, obviously we'll cut a hole for the speaker, but that'll be behind the kick panel. I think I'm not sure if it does or not, but I think it might need to be cut right along this top lip right here. And then all of this will need to be trimmed so that it just comes up and kind of folds in a little, right? And so it's just like right there along this edge. I'm not sure. I thought the original one kind of went under there, but then some people are saying you don't want it on top of this sill. You just want it like along here. So I'm gonna look at that again. I think it's fine either way. This is a question I have because this thing is huge and I don't even think the sill plate fits over this, although maybe I need to smash this down, but I'm not going to do that yet. I still have some wiring I might need to put through there. And then back in the corners, what I'll probably do is just make a cut back there to relax some of this pressure and get these back corners to kind of sit flush. So just go all the way into the corner, make a little slit, and then like I did over on the other side, and you can sort of overlap, you know, where the pressure needs to be released. Maybe somewhere along here too. Although this can be shorter. I can trim this because all this is going to be covered. So that's it. I think this all looks good over here. This will all be covered with the center console. So I think we're good to go, you guys. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to reattach the little. I'm going to put this little plug in there in that retainer, that little plastic piece, and then I'm going to install this stuff. And when we come back, I want you to hear the difference between this and what we're gonna have next. Okay, that's our padding installed. No more sound. Okay, I trimmed a little bit over here, cut a couple notches for these screw holes, trimmed a little out of here to make that just sit flush. Same thing over here. Just kind of trimmed it, like, you know, cut a little notch in there. So now you can kind of jam it and it sits pretty flush. And then I trimmed this one, and I did, you know, I was conservative again, so it is a little longer, but I'm thinking I can sort of just jam it right there. I also did something sacrilegious, you guys. I took off this little wire holder, you know, the metal that was there, because it was just too big. It doesn't need to be that big. It was huge. This one was already broken, so I just got rid of them. I don't think they're necessary because this whole thing is laying over the wires anyway. I also just took this drill, this hole drill, and I made these holes a tiny bit bigger. And if I need to, I can paint them, but I don't really care about that. That should get covered up. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna get covered up anyway. But my goal was to make a little more space, because these holes in the sill plate are not lining up exactly with these holes here. So it was tight. The screws were like at an angle. It just wasn't good. So I'm gonna put all this back on, and so we're checking the sill plate screws, we're checking the carpet to make sure it's cool. If I have to, I can trim a little more off, but like I said, I'm just starting with a little A little more than I think I need. Okay, I think we're in good shape, you guys. Perfect, looks good. I think, so my opinion is that you can have the carpet a little longer than where it just comes up on that top edge, because it can fit under there. You see how this whole thing sticks up right here? So there's room under there. You can't have it coming this far, like on the flat part. You see this raised part? Yeah. So there's room for the carpet up over on top of this edge. So this is perfect. I got plenty. You know, it's not going to go anywhere. I got plenty of carpet under here. The screws are better. Not perfect, but I might even widen those holes a little more. These screws look big, right? They're not really sitting down in there. They might be bigger than stock. I should probably check. Because, you know, with these third-party stuff, who knows? They're probably metric. Anyway, it looks good. This whole area up in here is good. Like I said, I'll probably put a heat gun on that, and that'll just soften up and relax. But I also have floor mats that are going to go in here. So whatever, I mean, that's all the way, you know, way under. It's going to be way under the dash by the time this all gets done. I also have to figure out how to put the pedal on. Do you guys know how to attach? Let me see. Okay, so there's a pin, I guess, you put through. Maybe it's that simple. Anyway, that's another project for another day. So I think we're in good shape. This is all good now. And listen, it's so nice and quiet. No sound. No weird crinkly sound. So, awesome. Hope this helps you guys. If it doesn't, too bad. That's not my problem. All right. We'll see you guys later. Good luck with your projects.